we shall be discussing on the characteristics function of some standard distribution for the continuous case. And in this case, we'll be talking about the negative exponential distribution. So the first thing to do is to write the characteristics function. We note that the characteristics function is the expectation of ith, which is equal to the integral from 0 to infinity, which is the interval for exponential itx multiplied by f of x dx. So this is what we use in deriving the characteristics function for the negative exponential distribution. The I here means the imaginary unit. So the next thing to do to write our characteristics function. For more on this topic, you need to subscribe to this channel. Our characteristics function will give us the integral from 0 to infinity exponential itx multiplied by f of x, which is the PDF for the negative exponential distribution. And we have it as 1 all over beta multiplied by exponential negative x ib dx. So the next thing to do is to bring out this 1 all over beta, which is a constant. So it means that our characteristics function will be equal to the integral from 0 to infinity. So we will write 1 all over beta to the integral of from 0 to infinity, then exponential itx multiplied by exponential negative x beta dx. So this is what we get. This is what we get. The next thing to do is to move over to this side. So we'll have our characteristics function to be equal to, now we put these two together to give us 1 all over beta, the integral from 0 to infinity. We can bring out x, exponential negative x into, say, 1 all over beta minus, since there is x here, we have it. So we just arrange this, which is the same thing as 1 all over beta, the integral from 0 to infinity, exponential negative x into, this multiplied by this, we have 1 all over I beta t all over beta dx. So this is what we get. It is still our characteristics function. We are trying to derive the characteristics function for the negative exponential distribution. So for more on this topic, you need to subscribe to this channel. The next thing to do is to take the integral of this, which will give us our characteristics function to be equal to 1 all over beta. If we take the integral of this, we have multiplied by negative, this will give us beta all over 1 minus I beta t multiplied by exponential negative s 1 minus I beta t all over beta into, we take our interval. Of course, we can rearrange this to give us our characteristics function to be equal to beta all over negative beta all over 1 minus I beta t multiplied by 1 all over beta into negative s 1 minus I beta t all over beta. So if we impute infinity here, we will now be left with just our characteristics function to be equal to beta all over 1 minus I beta t multiplied by 1 all over beta. Of course, if we work out, we will notice that this beta can cancel this to give us this all over this. So in all of it, we can now write our characteristics function for the negative exponential distribution. And our characteristics function will now give us so our characteristics function for the negative exponential distribution will give us 1 all over 1 minus I beta t. The I here means the imaginary unit. So this becomes our characteristics function for the negative exponential distribution. For more on this topic, you need to subscribe to this channel.